you look at the tail of the tape, the one big difference you're going to see is there is a large difference in that reach, 72.5 to 66.5 for Josh Hill.
Once again, here's Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at Bellator 258, the time has come to conclude the prelims with 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'6", weighing in 136 pounds even. His professional record, 20 wins, 3 losses, from Fonthill, Ontario, Canada, presenting the gentleman, Josh Hill. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'7", weighing in 135 and 1/2 pounds. As a professional, 15 victories, just 1 defeat, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by way of Houston, Texas, Raufeon Super Stots.
Yeah, do it.
In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, the referee for this pivotal matchup.
Ready to
At
fight?
135, the bell in round 1. Southpaw Stots in the red gloves, Hill in the blue gloves. Stots' lone loss in his career came in June of 2017 against Merab Dvalishvili via spinning back fist, but he is riding a big wave of momentum again. 7 straight wins, body kick on Hill here in the opening minute.
Body kick, but a nice return by Josh Hill with that right hand.
Hill has Canadian combat sports veteran Crew Alain Hamajan in his corner. The lead, a couple of right hands from Hill, showcasing his speed.
Although if there's one difference in this fight that I look at, I do believe that Raufeon Stots has the advantage in speed. He's very fast, he's very quick with his movements, his hands are quick, he throws good combinations. What Josh Hill needs to do is he can minimize that speed with his footwork and using combinations.
Just switched stances and landed that right hook, and everything being relative when you're at 135, I think speed is a factor for a lot of these fighters. And Stots now opening up on Hill and attacking the back.
That was a nice job by Stots, got him off balance. Hill ended up putting his hands down to the ground. Stots goes after him. We'll see if he can get that hook. Stots on the back is very good. He is what we call a top ride position fighter. His top ride position is very tight, heavy.
In 23 previous fights, Hill has yet to be submitted. While 4 of Stots' 15 victories have come via submission. 2 minutes gone here in the opening round.
Josh Hill being very calm and relaxed, holding the hand and glove of Raufeon Stots. He's got to make sure that he's holding the whole hand, not just the glove. But Raufeon just needs to like settle in, use a heavy top pressure on top of him to drive him down towards that canvas area. Right now you're seeing him with that lace on the arm. That's a beautiful technique by Stots. You see again, Josh Hill clamping down onto that glove.
2 minutes.
Raufeon using his head to break the grip of Josh Hill as he's trying to hold on to that wrist area. This is one of those things when you're in that position of Raufeon Stots, you're trying to grapple and you're trying to strike at the same time. You've got to find those moments. So I'm going to grapple at this time, and now I'm going to strike.
Meanwhile, Hill on one knee now, looking to get back to his feet.
Nice job by Raufeon Stots. Look at that foot position you're seeing inside there. That's to kick that leg out.
Yeah, wear him out.
Good work by Josh Hill to work himself close to getting back to his feet. A lot of pressure again by Raufeon Stots. Where I said, all that wrestling pedigree, everything that he's had. Got that foot inside to slide that out. All that wrestling pedigree creates a pressure that is very difficult. Everyone says, just stand up. You can't. It just doesn't work that way.
Nice, good idea. Yep, good.
Josh Hill in a position, he's on his feet now. He can be knee to the head. That's why you see him putting his hand back down on the ground, making himself a grounded fighter.
Stots started wrestling as a junior in high school, a two-time NCAA Division II national wrestling champion. Wrestled at the same school as the UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, University of Nebraska. I was told it's actually Kearney and not Kearney.
Really?
Yeah. I actually did a show in Kearney. Maurice Smith's last fight, believe it or not, at 52. 25 seconds left here in the opening round, and Raufeon Stots controlling Josh Hill.
He's done a really good job with that control of that wrist on the far side. Trying to get his hook in here.
10.
Dominated position, but did not dominate the fight. Didn't do any real damage. He's going to win this round.
Oh, an immediate wow!
That's what you're looking
the
for.
bell. Stots going for the rear naked choke a little too late. As Stots gets ready to get down to business here in the second round against a Josh Hill. So we were expecting a dynamic start. Stots was able to take Hill down, control position for the majority of the opening round. Let's see what they have in store for us here in the second.
Well, Josh knows that, I lost that round and I got to get it back. So I expect him to really start to have some pressure towards Raufeon Stots in this round because he knows that he's down in this fight right now.
Nice. Fluid, exactly. Make your right go.
There's a right hand countered by Hill that landed, but Stots coming forward from the southpaw stance with his left hands. Inside leg kick connects for Hill.
Yes, Joshua.
That was a nice job of Joshua as far as what he's doing with his foot positioning. Brought himself to the outside of Raufeon Stots' foot. That's what allowed him to land that right hand.
Yeah, get back in the middle. Good, you're doing great. Yep. 350 left. Let your two go. Let your two go. Yeah, come back up, down, down, up. Yeah.
Yes. Right, left hand by Stots connects again. And Hill momentarily went southpaw back to orthodox, and Josh Hill has to find a way to deliver an uptick in his offense, John.
Yeah, he's definitely got to start just turning that RPM level up.
Body kick by Stots.
It's a clean body kick by Raufeon.
Let the right go, let the right go. Yeah!
Nice 1-2 from the southpaw stance of Stots. That right hand by Hill was blocked by Stots. Lead kick. 3 minutes remaining in the second.
We talked about that reach advantage that Raufeon Stots, and it is giving Josh Hill some problems in this fight. The length of Raufeon and where he's able to stand and land shots is giving Hill problems because he cannot touch Raufeon from that distance.
Back inside.
Yep, upward high.
Yeah!
Good, beautiful. Halfway through the round, Raufeon.
Duke Rufius used to be a broadcast partner of mine when we did Glory Kickboxing. Might as well let him handle the affair here tonight, here in round two.
He's more cheerleading right now than anything.
Up there, good.
Isn't that what a coach is supposed
That is
to do?
what this coach is supposed to do at times.
Flash your hands, Bubba. That's grip.
And
Or go low.
Hill now
Add position.
against the fence, and he's just failed to get on track. And here we are now with just 2 minutes left in the second.
Yeah, this is right. You can see there's been a difference in Josh Hill that Raufeon Stots has brought out, that he is not comfortable with that southpaw style, and he is not comfortable with that distance and range that Raufeon is able to launch his attack from. He just doesn't feel like he can get back at him.
And again, John, you have 2 top 10 ranked fighters in a division that is really cooking these days in Bellator, taking center stage tonight with Juan Archuleta's maiden voyage as the champion against the #1 ranked Sergio Pettis. But you have to make a statement in that Bellator MMA cage if you want to move up the rankings.
Well, both of these guys are undefeated so far in their careers here in Bellator, but you're seeing that right now, Raufeon's the guy that's leading the dance in this fight. He's the one that's landing the cleaner shots.
Yep, showing it. Nice, good luck, man.
Final 60 seconds of the middle frame. Stots going to the body with the left hand. Again with that jumping knee avoided by Hill.
Hill landed a little bit of a right hand on that. Wasn't clean, but at least he touched him.
Getting warmed up. Send it hard.
Going with heavy hand.
Hill from the southpaw stance. Not throwing many strikes at all.
Well, he's got his back pressed up against the cage, and he's not real comfortable right there. He wants to be able to get more towards the center. He just hasn't figured out the way for him to do it against Raufeon. Raufeon is just marching him down. Every time he takes a step, Raufeon's the guy that's putting his foot where he wants to put it to cut him off, to push. When it gets into this position where now they're both, we got a southpaw and an orthodox stance. You're seeing Raufeon keep his foot.
Oh, and the jumping knee by Hill with less than 10 seconds left in the round. Maybe they will deliver the dynamite in the 3rd and final round. They better do something in its final 5 minutes. 3rd and final round. Did we mention 2 top 10 ranked fighters in the Bellator MMA bantamweight division? Raufeon Stots in the red gloves, Josh Hill in the blue gloves, both undefeated here in Bellator. Who wants it more?
Let's go, John.
Nice, beautiful. Well done, Raufeon. Yes, I like that.
I see what you mean, Josh. Even with the high kick. I don't mean to laugh, but it is. Why not? That's your job, right? You want to, as much as you can influence the judges and everything else, especially here in a building with, no crowd.
It's like a baseball coach watching you take a strike and go, that was a beautiful swing.
Believe in it. He's good.
Josh Hill really needs to figure out, he's got to pick this up. He's got to make a move. He's got to go.
He looks very tight, John.
Yes, he does. He just can't figure out this puzzle that's in front of him, in that he can't get him back up.
Oh, there's a nice right hand in the knee tap.
That's what I want to see. And
That's exactly what he needs to go after again.
Let's do it again.
There was a Canadian fighter by the name of GSP that used that to great effect.
That same technique.
Yeah. Another one.
Nice.
Go back inside.
Yep. Piece him up with your jab. Yep.
So again, coming up
Got that front rib again.
later tonight on Showtime, Bellator 258 main card will culminate with the Bellator Bantamweight Championship at stake. Juan Archuleta defending the title for the first time against the #1 ranked contender Sergio Pettis. That's coming your way, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Bellator MMA on Showtime. And again, it's interesting. Stots lands the kick. Hill able to catch it on the comeback, but not make him pay.
Well, he did try to make him pay, and that's it.
Trying.
The whole thing is this. You cannot just sit there and say, I took a swing and I missed. I've got to continue on with that. You've got to do
On his
something
back
to make
foot.
something happen right now. That's
Front kick by Stots.
Hill's biggest problem throughout this fight is he's been on that back foot. He's normally a guy that likes to come forward, likes to put a little bit of pressure. Doesn't come, incredibly fast forward, but being on his back foot, it's taking a lot of his offense away.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this, the biggest fight of Josh Hill's life. In fact, the biggest fight of both of these fighters' careers. Looking to continue to move up in the rankings on a night where the bantamweight division is front and center. This is where you want to raise your stock.
right there, that was a clean right hand by Josh Hill. He needs to go back to it, and he needs to go back to it with an urgency.
When he steps forward, reach for that same
And even for Raufeon Stots, very
2 minutes left.
comfortable in just continuing to lead the dance, but not a lot of output in his offense either.
In fact, you know, that's, if you're going to say one thing that's
When you do that, he got no answer.
want to see out of Raufeon in this fight is, hey, you need to throw more. You need to create more offense so the judges have no doubt. Although, yeah, you were the guy coming forward most of it, you were also the guy landing the cleaner, crisper, and more often thrown shots.
Hill is 34, Stots is 32. This is the time of their career where they want to make the most of it. They have put in many, many years of blood, sweat, and tears. The camp during COVID, not easy. And yet here we are now with 1 minute, 20 seconds left. Who wants to make the statement?
Yeah, you're looking to put yourself in the upper echelon of the bantamweight divisions. You got Sergio Pettis and Archuleta fighting for that title tonight. Then you got guys, there goes Josh, at least he's going for that. That was a nice knee.
We had
Beautiful
Patchy
knee
Mix,
by Raufeon Stots.
who picked up a victory here on the prelims.
Magomedov is there. James Gallagher is there. You've got a lot of people that are wanting a shot. You've got to shine. You've got to show that, man, not only do I want the shot, I deserve the shot based upon my...
Wow, good timing on the takedown by Stots, and that perhaps has definitely sealed the deal for Raufeon Stots with 35 seconds left here.
We already saw that in the top position. Raufeon was able to control Josh Hill in the first round. He's back to that half guard position. You see Josh Hill working with that underhook, but it's not going to be enough to get him up right now.
I got stuff for you. Hold on. Let me get this frame. Let me give him something. Hit it, baby.
Well, he has a lot of energy to talk, maybe.
10 seconds.
Continuing to go as Stots with an elbow on Hill. And this fight goes the distance.
Clean break.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Nice, stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your 3 judges. All 3, Jacob Montalvo, Mike Beltran, Marcel Varela. All have it exactly the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Raufeon Stots.
Clean sweep for Raufeon Stots on the scorecards. He's won 8 straight.
Daddy, you got brother.